Hey, it's Rebecca Rutherford. Welcome to the What in the Well podcast. My friend Angie Huber and I are here to provide an entertaining and relatable perspective on well-being. If you want to shift your mindset and make incremental progress toward your work and home life goals, you are in the right place. Hi, Angie.
Becca, been a moment.
I had to stop myself from doing that thing that I was doing for a long time where I was like, we're recording.
But we are recording.
Recording in progress.
Here we are. Recording in progress.
Yes.
Hey, happy Friday. Good to see you.
TGF. It's my 17th wedding anniversary. So I'm going to go out and celebrate the almost 2 decades that I have been. It's like
Does it feel like 17 years?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
So it's like to the point where I don't remember my life much before my marriage, but at the same time, I'm like, where did all that time go? I don't know. And it's only truly visible when I look at like old videos or pictures of us, and I'm like, who let fetuses marry 17 years ago? What were we doing? I don't know what we were
but look at all the beautiful stuff that you've created together.
So many things. I know.
So many things.
Do feel, our first dance song at our wedding reception was The Luckiest by Ben Folds. And I still, not to be completely cheese, but I do feel like in that sense I am the luckiest. Like I nailed it. I married well and I have some beautiful babies and a good life. So anyway.
Happy anniversary.
Thanks so much. What's the latest with you? What's going on?
Yeah, so I'm really excited. Speaking of all the changes, right? I'm really excited about our topic today that we're talking about around embracing change, even maybe unexpected change from time to time. And what are some practical ways that we embrace seasons of change that can help, because change is inevitable, Somebody told me one time the only things that are guaranteed in life, I might have shared this on an earlier podcast. I can't remember. 3 things. One is death. We're all going to die. Taxes, can't avoid them no matter what. Even if you make the most money or if you're like, you can't avoid taxes. Right. Third is change.
Yep. It's the
I don't know what else is like more permanent in life is. So having some tools and resources and just knowing you're not alone when change is happening to us and around us all the time.
Absolutely. So why don't you tell me what is happening right now for you? Where is this embracing change hitting home?
So, as I think about change and I was preparing for this podcast and our conversation today, it's like there's the change that happens to us, right? Like change that we can't control when things happen. But then there's change that like we create to make it happen, but yet it's still change. So I'll share a couple with you really quick. One is we're moving. Yeah. That's a change. That is a big life change. It's good change, right? It's still change. Here's why. We sold our house. We don't know where we're going. We're taking a temporary stay with my in-laws. Heaven help them, us, and everyone, and Gus for that season. Very grateful that they're taking us in and willing to take us while we figure out what our next move is. It's a good change, yet it's change. So there's a lot of stress that comes with that. And it's also helping the whole family system navigate that change, right? What's that change like for all 3 of my kids? Was my husband going through that season of change? Another change, so that's one that we've created, yet there's still a process that we need to go through. I recognize I'm sad. Anytime there's a change, there's a loss with that. Sure. And so part of me is sad. And how do I celebrate, or not celebrate, but take the time to grieve the loss of moving into a new house? And how do I create space for that? And yet, how do I not get it wrapped up in the anxiety of where we're heading next? Like those are 2 separate emotions that I'm feeling like getting all wrapped up in. Another change that I'm actively going through right now, and this one is done to me. I did not decide this, is that our company has called us back into the office. So after being home based for over, 3.5 years, and I have found my footing, I love the balance and the flexibility and the ability to be proactive and all the things. I'm not going to get into it. I'm having a very hard time digesting that pill.
Yeah.
And I'm actively going through that change. I have a new role. I think I've mentioned that before. So I have a new role. I'm 6 weeks into it and trying to figure out and onboard and assimilate and figure out what all of that is. And you and I have talked about I'm a 44-year-old woman and I'm experiencing lots of change physically in my body and I cannot get a hold of it and it's hard.
Right.
So from where I'm going to live, right? Like if you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs of food, shelter, water, basic stuff, my
Right.
basics is where I go to work, how I
Right.
work, my body, right? And all the things there, where I live, like all my basic human needs are are
Yeah.
being shook up at the moment. Hell of a lot of change
Yeah.
happening to me, for me, because of me,
Right.
all of it around.
Yeah, you can't escape it. It's every home that you own right now, physically, your house, your literal house, your work home that take
And
the
my
place you
yes,
go, and your
my
body.
my
All of it.
human home, my physical home with my family, and my work home. All my homes are in disruption right now.
Wow. Yeah, that is a
Let
lot.
me just breathe for a moment with that because I never had thought about it from that perspective. And that's, oh,
Yeah, you have nowhere to go except for upstairs in your mind. That is the only thing that you have control of right now. I'm sorry to say it so bluntly. Breathe it in though, because you've done stuff like this in the past, right? You've embraced change in the past, right? So where in the past, when you have embraced this change, where were you, what strengths emerged as a result of that?
yeah. Um, so as you know, or may or may not know, I don't know how much I've shared this, is that I'm a certified change management specialist. So I
Yeah,
have 3 change management certifications
it's handy.
that can help individuals and teams and organizations move through change. So
Sure.
like, yes, here's what I want you to hear. I am still a human.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that just because I have all these certifications and experience for leading myself and others through change that it doesn't mean that these changes aren't hard because they are hard. Yet what I've learned is a framework. So there's a couple of things. One is the perspective. So you talked about my mind upstairs. Let's talk there. And this is where I'm having to check myself. What is it Ice Cube that says check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? When I find myself wrecking myself, I have to check myself and say, okay, what's my perspective on this change right now? So
Mm.
I even mentioned it. Is this change happening to me? Like, am I playing the victim? Like, what role am I playing in this change? Am I playing the victim like this change is happening to me? Or can I spin my perspective and say, what if this change is happening for me?
Right.
What opportunity exists here? So,
Yeah.
right now, in a couple of different changes, I don't know that I'm there on the for me yet. Like the move, the one where I'm having to go back into the office after I love working from home. I love it on so many levels. I'm not there yet. I'm still in the I'm in victim mode. This change is happening to me and I am mad about it. Um and so I need to and I'm doing my work to get myself to the how can this what can I be learning from here? How can this be a positive? So there's that. There's my perspective about it.
Yeah.
Then there's a beautiful change management framework. ProSci is the who I got my change management certifications through, and they have a great framework called ADKAR, ADKAR, and it's just a 5-step easy framework that you can use for an individual. You can use it teams, or you can use it like big orgs. Like how do we move thousands of people through change? It's a very flexible framework. And
Mm.
it's just this. The A stands for awareness. Do I know why we're changing? D stands for desire. Do I actually want to make this change? K stands for knowledge. Do I know how to do this change? Like, do I have the knowledge that I need in order to make it? So like our house selling, do I
Mhm.
have the knowledge, right? So do I know why we're changing? Yeah, there's a big vision there. It's very intentional. It's purpose driven. So why we're changing. Do I have the desire to change? Yes, I want this change. I'm committed. I am personally committed to this change. So I have the desire, it's high. Where I need to manage though the desires, the desire of my family unit, right? So there's 5 of us. We have 5 desires that we're trying to move through. But do I have the knowledge? So some things I'm needing to research. We're looking at buying plots of land to maybe build. I've never done that before. What
Right.
knowledge do I need to have, right? Buying anyway. So like the knowledge. The second A in ADKAR stands for ability. Do I know how to make this change? What do I need practice in? What do I need to skill up in? What do I need to go explore? And then the R is reinforcement, meaning I will do this change and I will continue to do it. Like, how do I move through it? I think about it like the bridge, right? William Bridges talks about transitions. You got the beginning, the middle, and the end. I'm in the messy middle and all those changes that I mentioned. So if I
Right.
do an ADKAR, a quick ADKAR assessment on me on a scale of 1 to 5, where am I at awareness? Where am I at desire? Where am I at knowledge? Where am I at in ability? And where am I at in reinforcement on all of these things? What
Wow.
I'll find if I give myself that assessment is that some of them I'm not at desire with
Yeah.
the work move. I'm much further along in my change journey with my selling the house, right? But it gives me it's I love the framework because it then gives me the like, okay, where am I stuck
Right.
and what am I going to do about it?
Right. Well, and how do you balance that when you have 3 major things going on in your life too? Or, if you do that ADKAR on any one of those areas and the desire is not there, that's a lot. But take that
Yeah, if
times
the
three.
desire's not there, you're not likely gonna move. That's the
It-
thing. Like if you don't want to actually do it, it
yeah.
may not, or you might have to do it, but you are not gonna be like you're gonna
Yeah.
be kicking and screaming. I mean,
Well, that's where
dragging your butt along on that change.
right. That's where the embracing comes in, I guess, in this topic, the embracing of change, that it's either resilience or resistance. That's your choice, right? I mean, you pick one. You can either resist
And
it.
the victim, right? And the victim mentality is the resistant, right? The change is being done to me
Yeah.
and I cannot do it, right? That's the resistance. The resilience is, huh,
Yeah.
what if I got curious here? What good could happen?
Yeah,
So like
exactly.
we could play out, right? We could play out, like we could even, we're not going to do this necessarily, but we could play out like, okay, with the move back to the office,
Yeah.
what could be positive about that?
Yeah.
Where could I have some resilience
Right.
about it?
Well, and that's
What
where I
could
think,
go right?
yeah, that's where I think, kind of assessing your past, even if, I mean, you've moved before, you've been in the office before the pandemic more, and there are certain things about that I'm sure were useful for you, or that kind of built some character, or, that you could look back on. Is it potentially a journaling exercise or something that you could do to write down all of those things that were beneficial from that experience before, in order to amplify maybe not your desire, but at least your peace with what is happening right now that's outside of
Right.
your control.
Because regardless, it's happening.
Right.
So am I going to be drugged there starting in January? Not drugged like physically drugged, although that might help.
Yeah, right. I mean, no judgment.
Just kidding. Um, or am I going to be resilient and skip to work and sing on my way and listen to podcasts and be inspired and have a good attitude when I walk through the door each and every day?
Yeah.
Like that is a choice that I need to make and that I'm working through.
Well, and look, not every day you can make that conscious choice to be like up and, excited about it. But in those moments too, that's the balance of like giving yourself some grace and taking a long nap or taking a walk or going and talking to somebody in your social circle, like finding support, asking for help, using all of your resources to just admit to yourself in that day, this is not going to be my best day. I don't want to change today. I don't want to embrace this today. But you know what?
And what's
Tomorrow's a new
good
day.
enough? Yeah, what's good enough look like?
Exactly. Like that's just put today in a little container and do what you can to get through the next day, just knowing that inevitably you will feel like you're out of change mode and back into the new steady, whatever that looks like. Is that a thing right now in this season of life? I don't know.
What's
I
that?
think just like change, just always
I'm
change.
constant change.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm telling you, like, it's constant. It's constant change. And
Yeah.
the other goal here, and then Rebecca, I want to hear from you too, is um so I'll use the move. The move is a journey.
Yeah.
And here's why. It's going to be months. So the moment that we put our house on the market a couple weeks ago to the moment that we land in a new house, that could be months. I hope not years, but it could be months. And so what I don't want to do is just stress the entire time.
Yeah.
So my goal that I'm challenged myself is, even though this is messy as hell and my body is messy as hell and all these other things are being like disruptive at the same time.
Mm.
You were getting, like, you're nailing it when you were saying, but how am I choosing to show up each and every day? Can I still be present with my kids? Can I still have meaningful conversations with people? Can
Right.
I still like show up and do meaningful work? Can
Mm.
I smile still? Can I laugh? Like, how do I embrace, even though this season is heavy
Right.
and dark at times, how can I still find presence in the moments to live?
Right.
Because I don't want to just go and live and go, it will all be fine once I get in my house. I'm just gonna
Right.
be stressed and be crazy and la 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 la, and I just can't wait to get in the house because then it'll all be fine, and then I'm a complete basket case for the next year. I
Right.
really don't do that because I'm missing out potentially on some really meaningful moments with my kids, with Matt, with people at work I'm supposed to be connecting with.
Right. Yeah.
That's the challenge I'm really sitting in right now, is while I'm in this season of a lot of change, how can I still do it from a place of good enough,
Mhm.
imperfect
Yeah.
messiness?
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? When we publish this podcast, you can keep it handy and keep reminding yourself of those things because that's some brilliant wisdom. And
I'll listen to it myself.
sure, look, I half the time I post things in social media or do these podcasts, I'm coaching myself. I'm not, I have nobody else in mind as far as like, mistakes and unfortunate circumstances. I'm basically like, I either need this information now, or this is something that was a mistake I made that I learned from, or something is telling me I'm going to need this again in the future. And so I'm just going to put it out there now so I can refer back to it later, So this is something you might want to keep handy. That's a lot of
Yeah.
change.
I need to give myself this dose of medicine, like, and reminders every day, like every
Yes,
day. Most
absolutely.
days right now, I'm not gonna lie, I wake up and the alarm goes off and I just want to pull the blankets over my head and go back to sleep
Sure.
and
Yeah.
not get up
Yeah. Put a
because
little
I'm,
reminder on your phone every morning, like at the same time your alarm goes off, that just says add car.
you got this. One step at a time, one
Right.
foot in front of the other. I have an amazing team, and this week was, I guess on Monday it was leaders, right? Like bosses day or leaders day or whatever. I don't expect anything at all. I really don't. And um, but they gave me, one of my team members gave me this pillowcase
Ah,
for a pillow, and it said she overcame everything that was meant to destroy her.
oh my
She
gosh.
overcame everything that was meant to destroy her. And we're
Wow.
a powerful leadership team of women right now. And um, I was like, yeah, these things are trying to destroy me,
Yeah.
even though they're good. Some of them are good, right? Like, how do I want to choose to work through this, to overcome it?
You're
But
indestructible, Angie. I've seen you. You are
girl,
indestructible. I'm telling you right now.
follow me around for a little bit, and you'll have a different perspective.
You have
Let's
that.
talk about you. What's
Oh,
going on? Where are you
actually,
experiencing change, and what are your tips for how you
I
embrace it?
Well, I'm glad that you brought up the body thing because that's been something that's been really on my mind for, well, a while. Entering your 40s and truly experiencing metabolism shifts and, the perimenopause, all of the hormone changes, and the pileup of life stuff, if you have kids, it's the kids stress. It's just work, home, family, added stressors, every angle, throw a pandemic on top, just time management, get into the gym, cooking, healthy, clean food, blah, blah, blah. I
You're
don't,
heavier and like I'm feeling the heaviness as you're talking about. It's just
I know I should have brought a brown bag to breathe into right now. I don't even want to talk about that anymore. It's hurting my back, but I want to talk about it because I think that for me, one of the major themes in this season of life is just the changes that are happening to my body and my confusion a lot of times about what I'm supposed to adjust. All of these experiments, nothing's really working as well as I would like it to work. The things that used to work don't feel like they're working. I probably hit the gym or whatever, like move my body more than I have in the last 20 years. And yet my weight is like, and I'm not even talking about like weight on the scale as being the finite metric that defines anything, but it's just more of like how I feel in my clothes.
yeah.
What is happening, right? What is happening? And I feel like I'm just sitting here watching myself and I'm like, oh man, I've got to figure this out. I really need to figure this out. I don't know. So, oh, I just need a moment. I need to breathe on that one.
Breathe on that one for a minute. I am the struggle. It is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is real. And there is not enough. You and I were talking about this, not with our listeners, but like there's just not enough support out there for this perimenopause real
Yeah.
things that are going on.
Right. It's unavoidable. And yet a lot of people don't talk about it that
We're
much.
not talking about it enough.
Yeah. It's something that we're all kind of secretly, struggling with to some extent. It's confusing and, I don't know where to start. I try to coach people through their own health journey, and I'm like, it's just troubleshooting right now. I'm in troubleshoot mode. And I want to embrace this change, but it's not one that I desire for
So on
sure.
ADCAR, where are you at? Awareness, like you know why, your desire to change, knowledgeability, reinforcement.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Well, I think yeah, I mean, I'm aware. I am painfully aware when I throw on those jeans and I'm like, they shrunk in the dryer again. Oh, silly dryer. Um, Yeah, no, I'm aware. So there's that. And then desire wise, yeah, no, I don't know if I'll ever be like a 5 out of 5 on the desire scale, but knowledge I'm learning and growing. So I'm trying to
Mentioned, yeah, you're like a
be
student.
patient. Yeah, trying to be patient with that process, trying new things that are, I have to think about things now that are like, is this good on my joints? Is this like, I never thought about that stuff before. I just like destroyed my body. And that's how I felt like I was actually doing a good job exercising is when I would leave there destroyed. Well, I can't be destroyed anymore.
No,
I've got like a 3-day recovery period from almost any workout now. So I have to be very conscientious. I went through a fitness routine a few years ago that I ended up having to quit because in all of my life, I had never broken a bone or had to get stitches from an accident. And I did both of those in this workout regimen because my brain still thinks that I'm an 11-year-old gymnast, but
yeah,
my body's like, no, you're actually a 42-year-old who has been sedentary at work for 20 years, and that's catching
yeah.
up.
And
So
so what's your mindset? Are you in victim mode still? Or are you in the resilience mode? Are you in resistance or resilience? Where are you?
it depends on the day. So, but I think a lot,
Overall, yeah. What's your like
yes.
average?
Yeah, I think average though, I can see myself moving toward more resilience than resistance. Like I look in the mirror and I'm like, there's so much about me to love that isn't necessarily tied to my waistline or whatever. Like my stomach will never be the same after having my 2 children. But whenever I see that, like I actually had one of my children, made a comment about my stomach once. And, then they immediately apologized. And I'm like, look, every time I look in the mirror and I see this stomach the way that it is now, I remember why. And I would trade it for not like this. stomach of mine is there because I got the gift of my two children. And so I'm trying to have that same mindset around this change in my life, body wise, that I do with it's like I have birthed, I have gone through this life transition. It's happening to me, like it or not. And, I have to look at my bruises, my stretch marks, my scars, everything else as like history that I value. And now I just get to decide what is the best course forward. Some days are better than others. I got to be honest.
Well, and Rebecca, to your point, it's not about I mean, yes, the weight, but it's about the way you feel.
Exactly.
Like, and I feel like shit. Like, I do. I feel like shit.
Laugh.
The number's horrible,
Yeah.
but I just feel
Yes.
not myself. I don't have the energy. I got, again, the brain fog, and to your point, the more I work out and the more I eat healthy, I've stopped, like I have barely drinking, right? I'm in the season of
Yes.
like barely, not that I was drinking a lot, but like, I'm like,
Oh,
maybe I'll just give that up for a season, right?
right.
Like social drinking on the weekends, like I
Right.
barely, like just have slowed it so down that like, that's not even doing a damn thing. So then I'm like, well, if that's not working, then open the goddamn line
Oh,
back up and let me just enjoy this season of feeling like shit. like, so I don't, I'm right there with you, but it's
yeah.
about the feeling
Yeah.
good in our 40s. Like for me, I just want to feel a little energetic and feel good. And
Yeah.
if I'm going to be truly honest, this weight that I've gained and the feeling gross, I'm not excited to go back in the office because guess what? None of my work clothes fits.
I feel
So
it.
not only like there's part of that that it's like I have to go buy a bigger size and like and so there's just
Yeah.
anyway, the whole thing's all like interconnected to where
It,
I just feel.
it is.
So what are some things that you're doing?
Well, so I'm trying to look at my body differently. Like when I work out, I have to think of myself strong over skinny, strong over skinny. I'm building muscle. I'm building strength. I know I am because I can see the dumbbell weights going up, and I'm listening to my body and honoring what it's capable of doing. So strong over skinny, not that there's anything wrong with skinny if that's how you're naturally inclined, but I'm not going to kill myself in this season in order to achieve the weight that I still have in my driver's license. Don't tell anybody. But, I mean, look, I'm not getting my license renewed to change that number.
Let
So
us have that. Just let us have that at least.
let me have my driver's license number. Okay. So look, it just shows that I was there at some point. So there's that, but it's like the other ways that I'm honoring my body, rest, like just taking care, wearing clothes that feel so freaking comfortable. I used to like squish myself into clothes that looked really trendy and etc. But like, look, I'm not wearing a crop top anytime soon. I'm ready to move on from that trend if y'all are, but there's no crop tops. So it's just stuff like that, like little micro decisions that I'm trying to make that I'm like, all right, so what is right for me right now? That's it. That's all I can
How
do.
can I feel beautiful
Right.
in this season even? It's part of my limiting beliefs that I've really had to check myself on around this is I can't be the best coach ever until I feel and look good. Like that's something I'm really struggling with. I can't be a great leader. I can't go out and do this really important work until I look good. Like literally, those are the thoughts that run through my head
Yeah.
on the regular. And you know what happened to me this week? I showed up to the office, by the way,
Yeah.
against my will, showed up to the office, by the way, and was greeted with my team. I did not expect this with those flowers and like the Starbucks gift card and the pillow thing, and was just like, I was like, you guys, and they're like, you're just a great leader. We
Yeah.
really, really appreciate you.
Oh,
And I was just like, I can still be effective even though my pants, my blubber is boiling over my pants right now. But it was the reminder of like, you can still make an impact and still make a difference. And people are still relying on us to show up and
yes.
be there for them. Our kids, our coworkers, our teammates, our husbands, like wives, all the things.
I know what you mean. I mean, yeah, I'm like, getting my wellness coaching board certification. And I'm like I'm like, I'm sorry, we live in influencer culture. The stuff that you're going to see on my social media is not going to be me doing sit-ups. I'm sorry if that's what you're looking forward to. Go somewhere else. What you're getting from me is somebody who's struggling with her waistline, trying to practice what I'm preaching, but I'm not even preaching because I know how hard it is. I'm just trying to help other people embrace the change that they're experiencing. And you know what? This body is a vehicle. It's getting me where I need to go into the next season of life. It's helping me schlep my children around like an Uber. You know, that's where I'm at. That's what this body does for me right now. So I honor that. Some
I
days
know. I just wish it had a little bit more energy in it. That's the thing. The gas gets emptied a little
yeah,
bit more quickly, and it doesn't move as fast as I would
yeah.
like this body to move.
Maybe we need to embrace supplements. I don't know. Embrace hormone replacement therapy. I don't know. Embrace something.
Hey, any listeners, if you know what Rebecca and I need, if you have the solution to our problems, please,
Right.
please DM us. We are
This is
happy.
it's a head scratcher.
We want to partner with you, and we need help.
This is
And
a
there's
real,
lots, and we know we're not alone in this.
this is a real what in the well moment for us. We are scratching our heads.
We are literally like, what in the well?
Yes. We will have you on this podcast and you can coach us. Please.
Please, if you're interested.
Lord.
On that note, let's wrap up here.
All right.
So, y'all, we just mentioned 1,000 changes that are going on just in our two lives. So we know that you all are experiencing change out there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, a couple of tools, right? The ADKAR framework, check in with yourself. Understand your mindset. Are you just check in? I'm going through this change. Am I in a place of resilience or resistance? And it's okay if you're in resistance, right? It's okay. Just acknowledge it and then decide. Like, I'm not ready to be in resilience yet for some of these changes. And that's okay. You get to own it. And how you want to navigate the change. Give yourself grace. Understand that some changes are quick and small to go from where you're at to the future state. Some are big in duration, like big moves.
Yeah.
And how do you continue to show up imperfectly?
Right. And I'll leave you with this. If you're not in the mood to navigate, take a nap.
Take a nap.
Take a nap.
Take a nap. Take a nap. I will do that 10 to 15 minutes after a long day. I'll just go sit face down out on my deck, literally face down out on my deck for 10 or 15 minutes. I gotta tap out.
Einstein used to do it.
I do meditations. Like I'll do 15-minute meditation.
Yeah.
Body healing. There's some great body healing meditations out there. 15 minutes.
Yes.
They're game changers just to pause.
Take a nap.
Take a nap. Go for a walk. Listen to a favorite song. Dance around.
Exactly. All right, Angie.
Embrace change. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to wish you well. I wish you well on all of your changes.
I wish you well in all the changes. And listeners, I wish you all well as we're all figuring this out and dancing through the changes of life together.
Right.
Changes.
And please reach out to us. If you have the body change solution, please reach out immediately.
No, I'm let us know.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.
See you next time. Cheers.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of What in the Well. Be sure to review, rate, and subscribe to our podcast. And if you have a topic you'd like us to cover, share it in the comments. Stay well until we meet again.